In this tutorial, I'll go over how to create signups for activities for a meeting. To do so, I'll start by going into a meeting that I've been working on, Acme Q4 Sales Kickoff. I'll go into the activities area. So you can add activities by clicking on the Create Activity button down the bottom and filling in the parameters. So in this case, let me quickly create a breakfast activity. You notice that I can choose to charge a fee for the activity. I can make this activity mandatory or optional. I have to specify a start and end time as well as date. So let me go ahead and do that. And I can establish a capacity limit beyond which the registration site will no longer allow people to select or sign up for this activity. Additionally, I can create a waiting list for this activity so that people can get on a waiting list if the capacity is not available. Once I'm done, I simply click on Save Activity, and the activity is added onto the left panel that we see here. If you have a large number of activities, what you can do is actually import the activities from a spreadsheet. You can download a template from the system and then fill in the activities inside the spreadsheet and simply upload the resulting CSV file into the system. So, as an example, a spreadsheet might look something like this, with a name, description, start and end times, and whether the activity is mandatory, if there's a price, and also what the limitations are. Once you create this spreadsheet, you can then import it into the system by clicking Import Activity. And this is a labor-saving device that enables you to get all these activities into your systems very, very quickly. Now, one of the things that you can do is ask questions as it relates to a particular activity. As an example, one of the activities we have here is a golf tournament at Lincoln Park. What I want to do here is to actually ask a series of questions relating to whether or not the attendee who selected this activity needs to rent clubs. So I can do so by going to this Add Item area here and choosing a radio button condition. This essentially enables me to create questions with answers that then may lead to subsequent questions. So my first question would be, do you need to rent clubs for the golf tournament? And one response might be yes. And if the answer is yes, I may want to ask a subsequent question. In this case, I'll simply ask a radio button question. If you need to rent clubs, do you need right or left-handed clubs? I can create a choice for right-handed and another for left-handed. And then to go back to the previous level, if I don't need to rent clubs, then I'm done. There's no further questions I need to ask. I can save this question, save the activity, and what will happen is that when the attendee clicks to sign up for that activity, these questions will pop up for him to answer. Now, let's go to Site Builder and add these activities onto the registration site. So I come to the Site Builder area, I go back to Create Site, and we're working off of the site that we were working on from a previous tutorial. I've added a page sense, and now what I'll do is add item for activities. And you'll note that all the activities that I've created previously now show up here, and I can now select them all to have them rendered on the registration site. In this particular case, I'm choosing to kind of break it apart a little bit. So I'm going to add a bunch of activities, and then what I'll do is let me move this text down toward the bottom here. And I want to create a separate section for the recreational activities. So I'll go back to add activities again. And what remains are the 3 recreational activities, which I'll add here. I'll go ahead and save my work. And go ahead and preview. So now when I click on the agenda signups page, you notice that the activities I've created are now rendered on the site. And it's ordered chronologically on a day-by-day basis, first by the day and then within the day in chronological order. And then if we go toward the bottom to look at the optional recreational activities, let's go back and look at the golf tournament activity where we've added the question. So if the attendee chooses a golf tournament, question comes up, do you need to rent clubs? And if I answer yes, there's a subsequent question that comes up, do you need right or left-handed clubs? So that in a nutshell is how you create activities and add it onto the registration site. In the next tutorial, we'll go over how to add sleeping rooms to the registration site. And then we'll talk about how to activate the registration site, how to copy site across attendee types.